And welcome to another special ETBU Sportsnet production presented by our sponsors at Marshall Hometown Tire. I'm Kenneth the K-Rock Klein. Pleased to be joined by our head hockey coach, Alain Savage, who just received some good news that his team will be competing for the ACHA National Championships up in Bismarck, North Dakota. And, of course, for Coach Savage and his team, it's definitely been a crazy season, to say the least, for you. Obviously, with the fact that you've only had one home series all season long, the rest you had to go on some road trips as well. Just kind of talk about the feeling of excitement knowing that you're going to be competing for the national stages.
Well, that's really excited. I think the guys are more pumped than I am. It's been all about them all season. The travel has been kind of a challenge for us this year. Like you said, we had only one home game series versus Arkansas. But I think traveling on the road build up the team chemistry, and we came out stronger because of that.
Absolutely, indeed. Yes, I mean, playing on the road, obviously, that's definitely some goods and bads because, again, you like being on the road, but you run to be at home as well. And given the fact that you had to deal with some sort of adversity with everybody going through this COVID-19 pandemic stuff, just kind of talk about the mentality of this team all season long, just the fact that you were able to sort of overcome whatever obstacles there may have been. There were some games where you didn't have everybody with you as well. Just kind of talk about the mentality of the team.
Well, I think we're again, we came out of it pretty strong because we're pretty deep this year. It didn't matter who was down; we had somebody to replace them. But at some road trips we went to Liberty and North Carolina, we struggled a little bit. We were missing 5 players because of COVID, and that kind of hurt us on that road trip. That was a little scary there to lose those games because of rankings to go to nationals, but we had some guys that picked up the slack and showed up for games and that weren't expected to do that kind of job. On that road trip, we lost Ryan Grushka, which is a big part of our team, and some other guys kind of picked up the slack, and it wasn't the best road trip we were expecting for. I don't like to use excuses, but it was a long road trip and we were missing some guys. But on that Sunday versus Liberty, everybody showed up and applied the game plan, and we played pretty well.
Indeed. So, obviously this team from your first year on, they were sort of a team that was kind of getting started to all of a sudden being a nationally ranked team, and now they're playing for nationals. And obviously it just seems like every single year you're taking big strides as well from this program and on. Did you kind of have a vision of how far this team would be when you first took over the job?
Well, national championships are always, I think, should be a vision for every coach who's taking a program on, but I didn't think we would move on that fast. And once again, it's all about the players. They play the game on the ice. I'm just there to support them and teach them a little bit, but if they don't decide to buy into the culture and the program that we're trying to do, it's not going to happen. So it's all the glory to the players. Yes, at some point we were expecting to go to nationals, but not that quick.
Indeed. And, what's also amazing about this team is, this is obviously its 5th year of existence, but I feel like this has been the most productive team historically speaking. You talk about Riley Knott, who's been your scorer, now has been your captain for this season. Davis Van Gimmerdon, another great player, Albert Wiggins, and then you throw in somebody like a Ryan Grushka, who you talked about, and then Caleb Goudreau, who's a newcomer, just having a great season as well. From a productive standpoint, I feel like this has definitely been your most exciting team. Just what does that necessarily mean for you and for the squad when you have guys that can come in, contribute, scoring goals left and right here and there, and also for the guys that have played sort of a lesser role but are able to realize, hey, we got to step up for next year once these guys leave?
Well, it's all about the culture that we're trying to instill here in all the players. Yeah, we have some guys coming in that can score and all that, but you have those guys that have a lesser role on the team. I wouldn't say a lesser role, but not as a glorified role. Guys like Carson Luce that just come in, and in the future he is probably going to be one of our best players. But right now he has to find his role into the team. But everybody gets their role this year, and they're embracing it and grabbing it by both hands and rolling with it, and that's what makes us better. In the future, they're going to have to be the ones that show the same attitude towards the other younger players and show them the road.
Indeed. Of course, obviously, you take a bunch of kids, like you recruit them from all over the nation, some from Canada. You bring them down here to Marshall, Texas, a typically small town, and now you're taking this small Division III program, well, technically Division II in ACHE, and you're going up against some fellow other hockey teams from across the nation as well. Just from those that really have yet to grasp this hockey team, what that means, what that does to this university, and also to the kids who have always played hockey ever since growing up, whether it be on the pond or on one of these little youth rink leagues as well. Just kind of talk about the feeling of them getting a chance to compete for a national championship, what that necessarily means for this program and also for recruits that have an interest in coming here.
So, all the Canadian players, and we have a Sweden kid, Philip Soderstrom is another great player on our team. Julian Chow, that's from Hong Kong. So we have players from all over the country, all over the world. So the other players that never had the opportunity to play on the big stage, well, this is the time. Like those teams that we're going to play against, Hugh Mary, Lindenwood is our first game. We just found out yesterday the schedule. Those are like programs that we're trying to mirror. And in the future, we want to be the teams that everybody says, hey, ETBU, that's what we want to be like. And, we're only 5 years in, but I think we're getting recognized a little bit all over the place. For a little college in East Texas, everybody's talking about us, and that's a good thing. We want to be recognized, and we want the players to know that, we're one of the best programs to go play for and continue your education and seek the Lord in your life and turn your life around.
Absolutely, indeed. All right, Coach Savage, thanks so much for taking your time here. Best of luck to you in the tournament when you're heading up to Bismarck, North Dakota. Can't get more north than that unless you go to Canada. So, but best of luck to you as well.
Thank you.
That's Coach Alain Savage. I'm Kenneth the K-Rock calling. Tune in next time as we have more action on the ETB Sportsnet.